playing truth or dare with friends, I lost 3 rounds in a row. Just as I was about to choose truth again, my friend intervened.
Emily, don't you remember why we're here tonight? You can't keep choosing truth.
She was right. Tonight's gathering was mainly because I had been cooped up at home for too long. My friends were worried I might isolate myself too much, so they insisted on dragging me out to have some fun. With the atmosphere set, I drew a card from the dare pile. It read, "Call your ex and tell him you miss him."
Just so you know, if he doesn't pick up, it's not my fault.
Having had a bit too much to drink, I momentarily forgot that my ex was the top celebrity Daniel. I grabbed my phone, found his number in my contacts, and dialed. The phone barely rang for a few seconds before he answered.
Hello? Why are you calling me out of the blue?
Hearing his voice, I froze. My alcohol-clouded brain started to clear up. That voice was unmistakably Daniel's. Seeing that I wasn't speaking, Daniel asked again.
What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?
With tears welling up, I decided to go all in and blurted out the dare.
In the 3 years since we broke up, I haven't been able to sleep at night. I miss you so much it makes me tremble.
There was a pause on the other end, but soon Daniel chuckled softly.
What a coincidence, I feel the same. Shall we get back together?
I hung up the phone with a snap. My best friend Olivia, sitting next to me, was wide-eyed and about to ask something when another friend across from me pointed at the phone screen.
Emily, was your ex from 3 years ago really Daniel?
I was about to ask how she knew when I saw that the phone in the middle of the table was showing Daniel's live stream. Due to a slight delay, it had just reached the part where Daniel said, "Shall we get back together?" As he said those 3 words, Daniel swallowed hard, and his fingers gripping the phone turned white, a sign of his nervousness. When Daniel and I first got together, we had just graduated from college. I accompanied my dad to an alumni speech at a prestigious university. Daniel was sitting in the front row, listening attentively. After the speech, I asked the school official who organized the event about the student in the front row. The official thought for a moment and said,
"Oh, him? He's a first-year graduate student in the media college. I think he's also a small-time actor outside."
Daniel was incredibly good-looking, with delicate features and clear eyes. Especially when he looked at you, it felt like his entire gaze was focused solely on you. Smitten by Daniel's appearance, I went straight up to him after the speech and asked for his WeChat in a straightforward manner.
I really like you. Can I have your WeChat?
Daniel was momentarily stunned but then opened the QR code for me to scan.
Sure.
When Daniel and I first met, we had just graduated from college. I accompanied my dad to an alumni speech at a prestigious university. Daniel was sitting in the front row, listening attentively.
Who's that student in the front row?
"Oh, him? He's a first-year graduate student in the media college. I think he's also a small-time actor outside."
Daniel was incredibly good-looking, his clear eyes mesmerizing. Smitten, I approached him after the speech.
I really like you. Can I have your WeChat?
Daniel was momentarily stunned but then opened the QR code for me to scan.
Sure.
In the middle of the table, a phone displayed Daniel's live stream. Due to a slight delay, it had just reached the part where Daniel nervously asked, "Shall we get back together?"
How did you know?
The live stream is on. Look.
Daniel's grip on his phone turned white, showing his anxiety. When Daniel and I first got together, we had just graduated from college. I accompanied my dad to an alumni speech at a prestigious university.
Who's that student in the front row?
"Oh, him? He's a first-year graduate student in the media college. I think he's also a small-time actor outside."
Daniel was incredibly good-looking, with delicate features and clear eyes. Especially when he looked at you, it felt like his entire gaze was focused solely on you.
I really like you. Can I have your WeChat?
Sure.
Daniel was momentarily stunned but then opened the QR code for me to scan. The phone on the table displayed Daniel's live stream, capturing the moment he nervously asked, "Shall we get back together?"
Sarah, 3 years ago you broke up with me just like that. Now you don't even want to hear what I have to say?
What do you want to say?
Back then, I didn't know you had started a media company.
I know. I don't blame you. After all, we already broke up. Even if we hadn't, you wouldn't need to leave your old company.
Daniel's phone rang, and he glanced at it before answering. After a few words, he turned back to Sarah.
Sarah, let's have a proper talk after I'm done, okay?
Sarah noticed his red eyes but didn't respond. Since Daniel's debut, Emily had protected him well. Daniel knew the entertainment industry was complicated, but he didn't know to what extent. The photos David took were all under circumstances where Daniel was unaware and had been set up.
David, did you do all this? What do you want?
Emily, I don't want anything. I just like you. Why can you like an actor but not me? And don't accuse me without evidence. What did I do? Do you have proof? As long as you break up with Daniel, he can continue being a big star.
David, do you know why you're still in my contacts? Have some self-awareness, will you? Even without Daniel, do you think I would like you?
Emily, I really like you.
Your kind of affection is truly disgusting.
Just as Emily hung up, Olivia knocked on the door.
Daniel is here. He's downstairs, waiting for you. Listen to me. If you still like Daniel, get back together. From the looks of it, he clearly can't live without you. Don't think I don't know. You've spent the past 3 years cutting off business ties with the David family and gathering evidence of their illegal activities just to bring them down. Stop hesitating. If you like him, go for it.
Yes, over the past 3 years, I had been gathering evidence of the David family's illegal activities. I found that the evidence I couldn't find 3 years ago became much easier to locate once I became strong enough. But David had also hurt Daniel's parents because of me.
Daniel's parents were already in poor health. 3 years ago, David caused a car accident that left them in the hospital for months. It was a disaster for them. Originally, they could have lived peacefully, but they suffered because of me.
I still remember when I was with Daniel, his mom held my hand and said,
"Oh, this girl is so pretty. But she's too thin. Emily, listen to Auntie, let Daniel do any dirty or tiring work. He's a boy, it's okay for him to get dirty or tired."
Yes, Emily, let Daniel handle everything.
Downstairs, Daniel had been escorted to the lounge by Emily's assistant. When Emily entered, she found him holding several gift boxes and a plate of pan-fried buns on the table.
Have you eaten? I bought you some pan-fried buns from the place you used to love.
I don't like them anymore. I don't need you to buy me things I can afford myself. Stop trying to move yourself.
Daniel stepped forward and hugged Emily tightly, trying to kiss her despite her resistance.
It's okay, it's my fault. We've been apart for too long. I'll pay attention in the future. I just thought maybe one day you'd look back at me, and then I could give you these things.
Do you want to know the real reason we broke up?
Yes. What did I do wrong? I'll change.
I told Daniel everything that David had done, and Daniel's face turned red with anger.
Sarah, you broke up with me because of this?
Daniel, if those photos get out, you're done. Even if you don't get blacklisted, you definitely won't be as popular as you are now. And don't forget, it's not just about you, but also your parents. Your parents had that accident because of me.
As I spoke, tears started to fall. Honestly, I rarely cry. The last time I shed tears was when I broke up with Daniel. I really liked him. Attracted by his looks, loyal to his character. I've met many people, but few are as sincere as Daniel. Few have such clear eyes that you can see right through them. I really like Daniel.
Sarah, aren't you strong? Why are you crying? Aren't you just blaming the victim? Sarah, David likes you because you're excellent and worth liking. Emily, look at me, listen to me, you're not wrong. The one at fault is David. From beginning to end, you are also a victim.
I finally broke down and cried in Daniel's arms, and he held me, comforting me softly.
Emily, can we be together again?
After crying, Daniel wanted to take me home. Being a top star, no matter how many times he changes his license plate, the paparazzi will always track him down. I held Daniel's hand.
Are you crazy? The paparazzi must have already photographed you coming to my company. They can say you want to change companies. But if you take me home, there's no way to explain it. What will the paparazzi say? Top actor Daniel hooks up with a rich woman?
I don't care.
I also told Daniel about dealing with David. Daniel made a call to James, and after talking, he told me.
Emily, I won't hold you back. I've been in the entertainment industry for many years. Do you think I earned the title of top star for nothing? To be honest, I even have shares in Starshine now. I also have shares in some other companies. Trust me. By now, David can't touch me.
In the end, Daniel still took me home. When we arrived, my dad was there. He looked at Daniel, then at me, and suddenly smiled at me.
Emily, do you still like him?
Yes.
Do you hate me for not helping you 3 years ago when I could have?
No. It was my own lack of ability.
Good.
With that, my dad invited Daniel and me inside. In business, there are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. But perhaps because of me, my dad secretly collected a lot of evidence of the Lin family's involvement in shady dealings. When he handed me the evidence, my dad suddenly said,
Emily, you've grown up. I know your media company is doing well. But I still have a few words of advice. Don't be soft-hearted. Back then, David couldn't have done everything so flawlessly on his own. The Lin family's business is too dirty. Don't leave any loose ends.
Okay.
When Daniel and I first got together, we had just graduated from college. I accompanied my dad to an alumni speech at a prestigious university. Daniel was sitting in the front row, listening attentively. After the speech, I asked the school official who organized the event about the student in the front row.
Oh, him? He's a first-year graduate student in the media college. I think he's also a small-time actor outside.
Daniel was incredibly good-looking, with delicate features and clear eyes. Especially when he looked at you, it felt like his entire gaze was focused solely on you.
I really like you. Can I have your WeChat?
Sure.
For artists, there are no holidays. Every year, during public holidays, it's the best time for exposure. This year was no different. By the time Emily had arranged everything at the company and returned to her apartment, it was almost midnight. Olivia drove her back.
Your Daniel is so busy with work, he insisted I drive you home. He said it's unsafe for you to be alone. What, am I not a girl too?
I'll have a word with him when I get back.
Forget it, Daniel gave me $20,000 for this trip. This money is faster than earning it myself. For the money, it's all worth it.
When they arrived at the apartment building, Olivia didn't leave but accompanied Emily upstairs. As soon as they opened the door, they found the apartment filled with candles. Daniel stood in the middle, holding flowers, and sang,
Ike my affection, seen through by you. Blooming flower at the stall. Quietly appear by your side. Our flustered look. Smile and quietly admire. UST wanting to hold an umbrella for you.
He was singing Garden Party, the song he sang to Emily when they first got together. After the song, Daniel knelt on one knee.
Sarah, I like you. Miss Sarah, I won't say too much. I just want to ask you, Emily, will you marry me? I've saved all these years, and it's all for you. From now on, every penny I earn will be yours. Emily, will you marry me?
Yes.
Say yes! Giving all his savings is the highest form of romance.
After agreeing to Daniel's proposal, friends who played truth or dare with them in the past came over to congratulate them, claiming they were the matchmakers. Daniel smiled and handed out red envelopes, sincerely saying,
I really appreciate you all.
Watching Daniel, Emily couldn't help but kiss him. After their breakup, she thought they would never cross paths again and that Daniel would quickly forget her. But he didn't. Daniel always remembered her, even when Emily had ended things so decisively. Emily thought Daniel's proposal would be kept secret. To her surprise, Daniel, a love-showing enthusiast, revealed it through his live stream.
How did you know I proposed successfully? How did you know Emily loves me?
Watching Daniel's live stream, Emily couldn't help but laugh. Daniel ended the stream and came over to kiss her.
Emily, I really want to tell everyone we're getting married.
Me too.
Daniel lowered his head, nuzzling her hair, then looked into her eyes.
Emily, I really like you.
I like you too, Daniel. I really like you.